Hello there, superstars. His name is Aaron. He has seen the future, and everything's going to be okay.
His name's Tommy, and he killed Fitty Man.
And you're listening to the Super Pod Saga. That's right. The Super Pod Saga is the podcast you're listening to right now. This is the podcast where Aaron and I, Tommy, and often a guest, will talk about a different video game topic every week. One of us is like, "Hey, we should talk about this," and the other one's like, "Okay, let's do it."
Yeah, we get together on our little teepee and we discuss everything there is to know about video games.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
consult the gods on video games.
Yeah, and then we're gonna keep doing that until they tell us to stop.
Until we run out of peyote.
Yeah, which we have a lot of peyote.
Yeah, we do.
And joining us this week is Dave from Tales of the Backlog. Hi, Dave.
Hi. Good to talk to you, Tommy. I was just here with Aaron last time. I was starting to think that Tommy is just voices that Aaron also does.
Stop. No, I'm a real boy. I'm a real person.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Why don't you tell the listeners a bit about you, what video games you like, what Tales from the Backlog is, all that good stuff.
Yeah, so my name is Dave. I don't really care about long walks on the beach. They're fine, I guess. But I do like video games. I play a lot of games for my podcast, Tales from the Backlog. It's mostly backlog games, as the name would suggest, although there's some new releases in there. Aaron was on my show one time. We did an episode about, what was that episode about? Long games?
Yeah, long games. Yep.
Long games and burnout, yeah. Great podcast host. I remember the stuff that I've done, put out into the world. Yeah, it's bound to happen. You do enough podcasts, you're going to forget everything you've ever said on a podcast. So yeah, I play a lot of games. It's mostly single player story based games, which, we're talking PlayStation today. So there's
spoilers.
PlayStation's kind of known for that shit. I mean, we're talking about Xbox and maybe PlayStation, maybe the 3DO. I don't know. Talking about something.
It rhymes with slayplation. There we go.
Yeah, it could be claymation. Claymation is pretty close.
I was going to say, I'm going to need a better hint.
Claymation.
Yeah, but my podcast is like backlog game reviews every week, and if you need to know something about my show that makes it stand out from all the other shows that do the exact same thing, every episode of my show is no spoilers for as long as we can go, and then there's a part where we warn you about spoilers coming, and then after that it's full spoiler talk. So even if you haven't played a game and you don't want to be spoiled, you can still listen to my show because I take that very seriously. So yeah.
Excellent. Where can people find you on social media, and where can they find the podcast?
Well, unless you're listening to this on some super special Super Pod Saga Patreon or other secret website, wherever you're listening to this, you can also find Tales from the Backlog. If you just search Tales from the Backlog, I'm the only one there. Scott the Woz didn't make a podcast. He just did a little mini series on his YouTube channel called Tales from the Backlog. So you'll find me. On Twitter, I'm at TFTBLpod. Yeah, Instagram, Tales from the Backlog. I'm also on Discord. My Discord name is Real Dave Jackson. You'll find me in the Superpod Saga Discord server.
Yeah. Where can people find other Superpod Saga stuff, Aaron?
I mean, if they can track us down on the dark web, or usually on superpodsaga.com, just boot up your router, give it a hot minute to warm up. Even if you use like an old like 91 Macintosh personal computer, let it warm up for about 15 minutes, and then open up your whatever the web browser, Netscape, superpodsaga.com. All of our previous episodes, our blog, Patreon's there too. Check it all out there, superpodsaga.com.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. What are we? But we're here to talk about video games, and ignoring what Dave said, Aaron, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about all things PlayStation from
Whoa.
the 1 to the 2
I was
to the
right.
3 to the 4
Look
to
at
the
that.
Right.
That's right.
You guessed
Lucky
right.
guess. You win nothing.
I say that on every podcast I go on. I say, we're talking PlayStation, right? And they're like, no, we're not. I'm like, oh, all right. Give me a minute.
I have nothing to bring to the conversation.
Yeah. So big gulps, huh?
All right, see you later.
But we have something special we're gonna start doing before we talked about PlayStation, because we actually have like patrons and people on Twitter and stuff, and they've actually asked us questions. So do we have a name for this, Aaron?
I don't know. We're just gonna call it questions or no comments or I don't know.
Questions. That's a fantastic, catchy name.
The actual questions that we have come from Patreon. So I guess the comments ones are from Discord. So we'll call it the Q and C. The questions
Q and
comments.
C.
There we go.
Yeah, and go to our Patreon and give us money if you want to ask us questions too.
Yeah, or join our Discord. Then we'll ask you a question and you can answer us.
Yeah, it works both ways. Do you want me to start with the Discord?
He said both ways. Just kidding. Yeah, start us off with the Patreon comments, Tommy.
That's what I meant. I meant Patreon. I don't know why.
No, it's okay.
Edit that out. Fix it.
No.
On Patreon, Adam said he asked maybe what you guys think are overrated, underrated games and franchises. Not sure if this was in a past pod, so sorry if you've covered it before. Well, no need to apologize, Adam. I don't think we've ever talked about overrated games.
I don't think so either, or like underrated for that matter. But do you have a good one that comes to mind, Tommy?
For me, it's I don't know if overrated is the right word, but I just don't get what the big deal is with Skyrim. I've tried it like 5 or 6 times, and I just can never get into it. Nothing is appealing to me. I'm never having fun. I try.
I'm gonna have to take my shirt off, dude. That's a hot take.
I'm not here for hot takes.
No,
I swear.
I'm just joking. It's all right.
I'm
I
sorry.
get that. I get that too, because I think I've said this in a past episode, but whatever. I got Skyrim like the night it came out, played it for like 30 hours, got way burnt out, and haven't touched it since 2011.
Oh my gosh.
That's exactly what I did. I got it at midnight the day it came out, and
Yes.
then I played it for like 10 hours a day for the next month, and then I can never touch that game again. I never got close to beating it. I just one day my body was like, it rejected it. It was like, you are not playing this anymore. And if you think about it, your stomach's gonna hurt. That's how that works.
as soon as that title screen comes up, you're like
oh, I gotta go.
See, I that maybe I was just missed it because I didn't play it until years after it came out.
Maybe that's why. I mean,
yeah,
those Elder Scrolls games are wild. Dave, did you have a game that you think is either overrated or underrated?
Let's see. Overrated? All right. I love these games with like my entire heart, but I do think that the Dark Souls series has become a bit overrated, as like it's kind of become like a touchstone for people who are making games. Like too many people are taking influence from it when they don't seem to understand what made those games good.
Yeah.
So even though I think those games are amazing and I love them with my entire heart, they're some of my favorite games ever, they're kind of overrated.
I can see it. And they kind of have like this this thing that like they can do no wrong. Like if you don't like something, you just don't understand it.
Yeah, I think that there is well, with anything that's like super popular or has like super diehard fans, like if you criticize it, people are like, you can't say bad things about this thing. And the Souls games have become one of those things, I think. And there is plenty to criticize, for sure.
I get that. I haven't touched a Dark Souls game in a long time either.
Can I hit you guys with an underrated series?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
All right. I think the Dark Souls series is underrated.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
No, I'm going somewhere with this, I promise. Over here. Yeah, I'm going somewhere with this, I promise.
Okay.
I think that the truly good things about the Souls games are underrated because people focus so much on overcoming difficulty and challenge. And that's not what I love about those games. I don't want to fight a boss 25 times until I beat it. I don't want to spend 2 days trying to beat the final boss of Sekiro, you know? But I think that those games have an incredible level design. They're really, really fun to explore. And there's a bunch of really fucked up, awesome enemy designs in those games. And no one talks about that stuff. Yes. All they talk about is the triumph of overcoming the final boss. I'm like, I don't want that. I want to see more fucked up guys.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what we all want.
100%. I love how the exploration is for sure one of my favorite things about that, because like I don't remember a lot about the second or third game, but the first game I played a lot of, and there were a lot of little shortcuts. So like
Mm-hmm.
you'd be running through some place and you'd be like, oh, where's this door go? Or like, where does this elevator thing go? But it's locked. You can't use it. But then you come across it later on and it's like, it unlocks a shortcut to a past area. And like that shit's just so
Yep.
cool.
Oh yeah,
And
one of the best
the
feelings in
lore
games.
is, yeah, and the lore and yeah, the freaky fucking enemy designs, like those like skeleton dog things in Blighttown. Ooh,
yeah.
buddy.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fucked
Yes.
up skeletons in those games.
Yeah, I've said this on like every episode, but I don't give a shit again. I think the Sonic racing games are underrated.
Mm-hmm.
People like to give those a lot of shit because like it's Mario Kart
No,
with Sonic,
it's
but
different.
like yeah, like sure, it's another kart racer, and that's kind of oversaturated now because there's a bunch of like there's Hello Kitty kart racing, there's Garfield.
Crash Team
Well, I
Racing.
guess yeah, Crash Team Racing, but Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed is for sure my favorite my favorite kart racer. That's not Mario Kart, and people need to get off their goddamn soapboxes and just give it a shot. Stop reading reviews about it and basing like your thoughts on the game on that. Just play the fucking thing because it's good.
Yeah, I've said it before on past podcasts, so let's just recap past podcasts. But my college roommate loves that game as well, and he says it is his favorite kart racer.
Ooh, I'm best friends with that guy now.
Yeah, totally.
What's his phone number?
I'll give it to you after the show.
Okay. All right. Next
The
one.
next Patreon question.
Yes.
Jameson says, now that Xbox Live is officially being folded into Game Pass and the name is being retired later this year, I'd love to hear what kind of memories and experiences you have about your early Xbox Live days.
Ooh, Tommy, do you have any early Xbox Live days from like the original or 360 or anything?
No, my first Xbox was the Series X. So I
Oh,
really
fuck.
yeah.
I mean, we played a bunch of Halo 1 on the Xbox online. That was, I think, the first time we ever played anything online, except maybe,
Hell
can't
yeah.
remember if my brother and I played this or Medal of Honor on the computer first online. But it was one of those. But definitely early Xbox Live playing Halo.
An old friend of mine, his cousin brought over his Xbox and he was playing Conquer Live and Reloaded on Xbox Live, and that was kind of cool. And that was like up until then I'd only ever seen like PC players playing online, but it's like now, wow, we can do this now too. Like us console peasants can do this now too.
I can get pwned
And,
on the internet.
Pwned, holy shit, that's.
I can get teabagged
then,
after I die, just like all the cool kids at school.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
And then yeah, I didn't play a lot of like the original Xbox on Live, but I played a shit ton of the 360 on Xbox Live. Gold, baby.
Ooh, look at this guy.
Man.
Gold. He
Yep.
didn't have silver.
I know. No, fuck that shit. You had to have gold to use you had to have gold to use Netflix. God damn it.
I'm glad times have changed now, and
what a wild time. Holy shit. Did you have anything else, Dave?
Not for early Xbox Live. My other Xbox Live memories are how that's where indie games first started for me. Was on Xbox Live Arcade.
Ooh, yeah.
what a fun time that was.
Yeah, playing Bastion and Geometry Wars and stuff
Geometry
like that.
Wars. Yeah.
That's not Small Arms.
Hey,
God damn
you know who owns Geometry Wars?
I don't.
Tommy?
Activision.
Well, never kick them out of that indie group, but definitely Bastion for sure.
So that's it. That's Patreon. Sorry we didn't have more Jameson, but feel free to again pay us money and you can ask us questions.
Hopefully get a better answer next time.
Yeah, it's totally worth it.
Oh man, okay. All right, on to the holy shit Discord comments.
Mhm.
I asked people in our Discord, what are your favorite games, memories, or anything at all PlayStation related? And so Chan, he says that huge 97 to 98 burst of dope ass games, which those were dope as hell. Yes. Zodiac, who is that's Chris from Retro Hangover, isn't it?
I have
Yep.
no idea.
Yeah, that's Chris.
Okay. Yeah, and he just did the he did the sound for the PlayStation 1 boot up where it's like
Oh yeah, that's a great sound. It's a
do
great
do
sound.
do 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 tingle tingle, yeah.
Gives me chills.
Old Ricky Firestone here, he says 2 games that really made up a large part of my childhood were FF9, yeah, great taste, and a game called Blast Chamber. They have special places on my shelf and in my heart.
I think I remember
Thank you,
Blast Chamber.
yes. I don't remember that one either, but I know I've heard FF9 is good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
Bill from Gaming and Collecting, he says, me getting Final Fantasy VIII as a kid because my dumb child brain added an extra 1 to the Roman numeral. No regrets, though.
Amazing.
Chris from A Novel Console, he says, loving Wild 9 as a kid and realizing it wasn't that great as an adult. I don't know what that is.
Same.
But yeah, sorry, Chris. Colby Moyer, sorry, from he's from Switch It Up, saving $800 in cash from 2020 to 2022 to buy a PS5 and play Final Fantasy VII Remake. Hell yeah.
That's impressive. Good job.
And then this one Yahoo named Judge Bread, he said, I sold my Wii and all my games to buy a PS3 and Call of Duty Black Ops. What a mistake. Lol.
Woof.
Oh man, I didn't even know I was going to be featured on the podcast. This is so exciting.
First time, long time.
Oh man. Valerian, he says, my favorite PlayStation game was Titan Submersible 2K23. Hell yeah.
We'll just
Jesus
making
Christ.
things up.
Jameson, he's back.
Hey.
I spent an entire summer helping a friend of my dad's restore a 1968 Ford Ranchero to get enough money to buy my PS1. I probably sanded at every inch of it and learned to detail a car with museum-like precision. It turned out like a dream, and then I got my DualShock PS1 and a used of Ridge Racer, Twisted Metal, and as many demo discs as I could get my hands on. Hell yeah.
Can I get a hell yeah?
Hell yeah.
The Pizza Dinosaur says, growing up in the era of CD add-ons such as TurboGrafx CD or Sega CD, the technology was always very fascinating to me, but I never had one until PS1. I love those early experimental days of Twisted Metal, Resident Evil, and great arcade ports like Street Fighter Alpha. A great time for evolving tech.
See, those are games I've heard of.
Yes. And then Real Dave Jackson, he says, buying a used PS4 was my first PlayStation since the PS1 and booting up the Order 1886 and having my mind blown by how good it looked. Still a fantastic looking game, by the way.
Totally.
Hey, that guy sounds pretty smart.
I agree.
Yeah, that was good.
What an intelligent person.
2 more. CJ989, getting my first PlayStation, the PS2, then immediately modding it so I can play games for free.
Ooh.
And that's
Illegal.
Chris from 1 Hour 1 Decision. Shout out to that podcast.
Yep. Yeah, that's a good one. And then last but not least, Distorted Rules. He's been in a bunch of our episodes. He's a Yugi boy. Parasite Eve and Metal Gear Solid, he says. Yes, those are good.
Yes, those are games on PlayStation.
And that's it.
That's it. So again, we have a Discord. If you go there, you can yell video games at us.
That's right.
So now it's PlayStation time. Are you guys ready for PlayStation time?
I'm ready. I gotta pop my back. I gotta scratch my back against the wall like a bear, but I'm ready to go.
Cool. I was gonna give you the wheel since this was your topic pick. So whenever you're done scratching.
Okay, I'm ready to go. Well, yeah, the PS1. What were you guys? Do you have any cool memories with that guy? Favorite games? Anything like that?
Dave, you go first. I'm eating pizza.
Okay, fair enough. You're going to have to eat quickly or pass it to Aaron when he's done scratching his back. This is a very busy podcast. I had a PS1 back in the day when it was contemporary, but I only remember playing Spyro. That's it. I don't know if we had other games. I was an N64 boy. I'm not sure how we got the PlayStation. We probably bugged our parents for it, but we had one and we played Spyro, and then we got rid of the PlayStation probably to help buy a GameCube when that was a thing. So
nice.
My memories of PS1 are really limited from back then. Now, obviously, I do a podcast about video games, so I've played plenty of PlayStation 1 games for my show, and then, out of curiosity and stuff too over the years. But back then, just Spyro. That's all I remember. And playing Oh man, I'm gonna tell you guys this story. Okay, I don't think I've
I'm
ever
ready.
told this
I'm
story
ready.
on a podcast before.
Oh
Exclusive. Everyone
Yes,
listen in.
this is Super Pod Saga exclusive. One of my friends in the neighborhood had a PlayStation, and when I would go to his house, we'd play Crash Bandicoot. And he showed me this, what he thought was this very cool thing that he did, which is that he would ball up his socks and then pee into them,
This
and
is
then
not where
throw
I
them
thought
out
this was
the back
going.
window, so that he could keep playing PlayStation. He didn't have to go out to go to the bathroom. And he showed me this, and he was like, "This is awesome, right?" And I was like, "I think dinner's ready. I think I gotta go."
This is awesome, right? He thinks he's discovered some cheat code for real life.
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of, but
Holy
yeah,
Oh no. Oh,
yeah, very, very weird. Maybe that's why I don't like Crash Bandicoot.
Do you still talk to that kid?
No, he moved out of our neighborhood when we were still like small kids, so I have no,
Ah.
I barely.
Was his name Matt R?
Oh fuck.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
But tell
different
me
person.
Matt R's story.
Oh no, it's a
Do they
running
also-
thing on
There's
the
a lot of
podcast.
I was gonna say, do they also pee in balled up socks?
Oh, I've got one Matt R story, but I'm gonna save that for the PS2 portion. So
Okay.
buckle yourself
Everyone
in.
just wait.
Hold on a goddamn minute.
You keep trying to skip ahead.
Are you done eating your pizza, Tom?
Yeah, I'm good to talk.
Okay.
I have a lot of memories of the PlayStation. The first PlayStation was like the first console that I almost felt like was mine because I was like of an age to actually play it and understand what was happening. And it was mainly our Crash Bandicoot machine. We had all three Crash Bandicoots. We had Crash Bash, Crash Team Racing. It was made for Crash Bandicoot in my household. And also a bunch of sports games, which like when I think about it, that was almost I don't want to be wrong, but it feels like that was sports games going into 3D. So it was really cool to be able to actually play like 3D sports. I was like, these graphics are amazing with all the blocks and stuff. I remember my dad figured out how to pirate PlayStation games, which was interesting.
Hell yeah!
Looking back on it, he burned a disc of the Die Hard trilogy.
Hard trilogy.
But that was it. That was the only pirated game we had. Was the Die Hard trilogy.
Oh my god, I love your dad so much.
I don't know how he did
That's
that
awesome,
before the
though.
internet. He also he printed off. He had one of those dot matrix printers at his work,
Oh yes.
and he printed off an entire guide to Crash Bandicoot 2 so that we could find all the gems. And it was like 700 pages long because it was printed on dot matrix.
Hell yeah!
Oh man, I can hear the little the
Yeah.
I can hear it all now,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Holy shit.
They also had that at
Like
the
I'm at the
bowling alley in
pharmacy.
town. I remember that.
Yep.
Because they
Oh, man.
there was no computers, so they printed off the scores and then plastered them on the wall. So the wall was just covered with dot matrix printed scores.
Come visit Ireton, Iowa, everybody. I promise you it's great.
They got a bowling alley. What more could you want?
We got our PlayStation from my stepdad. He's had the same job for fucking decades now. He cleans out the inside of like semi trucks whenever they come back from trucking and fucking and stuff. Trucking and sucking and fucking. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this one trucker had this big like this big black box of a PlayStation, and it had games and shit in there. And the trucker left it in there. So he goes like, "Hey, do you want this back?" The trucker was like, "No, you can just have it, man." And so yeah, he got a fucking PlayStation for free and like shit tons of games.
Nice.
Fuck, it had like Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and like Resident Evil 1 and 2 and some really obscure shit like Darkstone and like Kingsfield 2 and shit like that.
Whoa.
Hell yeah. And yeah, I played the fuck out of that. Couldn't get very far in Final Fantasy 8 because one of the discs was scratched. So I said, fuck that. Oh, and you know what? No, here comes Matt R. He's coming right out of the gate, dude. He borrowed my copy of Final Fantasy 7 and he scratched the absolute shit out of it. Like it was unfucking readable, dude. And then like a buffoon, I let him borrow Resident Evil 2 thinking that he couldn't possibly.
He would
Like
do
he
it
couldn't
again.
possibly. Yeah, he
Doesn't
would.
seem like the kind of guy that'll scratch up 2 games.
Well, good news, Dave. He didn't scratch it. He fucking gave it to some other kid.
Oh.
He just gave it away like it was his. the son of a
Oh
bitch.
man.
And yeah, that was.
You-
I remember when I first played Resident Evil for the very first time. I came across a zombie. I was fucking horrified. I was like, ah, but like like a
Prepubescent
much
boy.
higher. Yeah. There we go. What not King of the Hill like I am now, but yeah,
King
it
of the
was.
Hill. You unlocked a memory for me.
Yes.
I forgot all about this. I had Final Fantasy Tactics, and I could not do it with my tiny child brain. I did not get very far. But I remember. Do you remember someone named Josh in elementary school?
I think so. There were a couple in our
In our
grade or
grade. In
grade
our
below.
grade.
Okay, yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yep.
I remember he called the house one day because no one had cell phones back then. And he was like, "Can I talk to Tommy?" And I was like, "Sure," and handed me the phone. And he just told me about the end of Final Fantasy Tactics because he beat it. And I was like, "Oh, cool. I don't understand any of what you're saying, but congrats."
And then he moved
Then he
away.
moved away. And then he
Yeah,
moved
we
back.
never saw him
No, I
again.
did see him again when
Oh,
we were
well,
adults.
cool.
We both worked at Walmart together briefly.
Hell yeah! Thanks, Walmart.
Thanks, Walmart.
Yeah, that's So I got that handheld emulator, right?
Mhm.
This like Ambernick, like RG, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
It's got more PS1 games on it than it has anything. I've got like 37 PS1 games on there because there's just so many bangers on that fucking system. Like there's like the Final Fantasies and the Resident Evils and Silent Hills and shit, but there's also a lot of really awesome hidden shit like Azure Dreams, the Lunar series. There's all sorts of cool shit. It's a RPG powerhouse.
Yeah,
It rules.
there's a lot of games on that
Yep.
PlayStation.
Yeah, I think that PlayStation 1, other than Game Boy Advance, is the system that I have the most emulated games for, like on my Steam Deck and stuff. And did you know that the 3DS can run PlayStation 1 games? So that's how I played some PlayStation 1 games. I played most of Parasite Eve on a 3DS.
Whoa, that's
and
cool.
Suikoden 2, I played the entire thing on a 3DS. So like I've played a bunch of the classics now, like over the last like 3 or 4 years, but there was a long time where I like didn't play any PlayStation 1 games. Like I would say like over 20 years. So I didn't play any.
Damn. I really thought about buying my 3DS to be able to emulate shit, but I cherish that fucking thing entirely too much. I know it's really, really easy to mod. And
That's what they say. I was living in Korea at the time, so I just went to an electronics market where they just openly sell hacked 3DSs.
Cool.
And I was like, I'll just take
shit.
one.
Okay,
So,
cool.
Yeah.
Right on. But yeah, anything else that we should talk about the PS1 before we move on?
You could put the discs into CD players and it would play music from the games.
Oh, that's sick.
I put my copy of
that I did not know.
I put my copy of NASCAR '98 in my CD player and listened to "Flirtin' with Disaster" on repeat because that was the only song that they had licensed.
Boot, scoot, boogie.
Wrong song.
I know. I'm just joking.
It was...
Do you guys want to do just like a real quick off the dome, like real fast, rapid fire top 3 PlayStation 1
You bet
games?
I do.
Oh my god, yes. Let's do this for every single one. I'm
yeah.
ready.
Let's make it a thing.
Oh yeah. Okay. My top 3: Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy Tactics, I think. Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
Crash Bandicoot 3, Crash Team Racing, MLB 99.
I was really hoping for
yeah.
for a third Crash. God damn it. Final Fantasy 9, Chrono Cross. Oh, man.
MLB 99. You know you want to say it.
MLB 99.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, I should have said Tony Hawk Pro Skater, but I played those on N64, so they're not PlayStation games to me.
No, they're not.
On the off chance that I do need to pick a different one other than MLB 99, I'll pick Vagrant Story.
Okay. That's your backup.
Okay,
Acceptable.
yeah. All right, we're moving on. We're gonna do the How I Met Your Mother swoosh sound. Whoosh. So yeah, PlayStation 2, man, that was a fucking era. Holy cow.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna have a hard time picking the top 3 for this, but holy shit. Okay, so Matt R. story for you. Here we fucking
Here we
go. You guys
go.
ready?
Okay.
All right, we're coming to the top. So one time over a weekend, I stayed at Matt R's house. Well, I was planning to stay like the whole weekend, but so Friday night we stayed up late. We played a bunch of video games. I forget. Saturday morning comes along. I wake up first because I've been an early bird for, well, maybe not now, but so I wake up first. He's still asleep. I just watched some TV for a little bit. It's Saturday. Kids WB is still on, so I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and shit.
Yep.
Fuck, we get to like 10:30. He's still asleep. I think, okay, well, I'll play some video games. So I boot up San Andreas and I just goof around and jump around and just blow shit up and just cause absolute mayhem for like an hour and a half. It's now noon. It is now noon, and I'm like, holy shit, this guy is still fucking sleeping. So I call my mom. She says, hey, I say to her, hey mom, can you just come get me? I'm really bored. He's still asleep. She says, yeah. She comes to get me. I go home, and like maybe 15 minutes after I fucking get home, he calls us, and he's like, hey man, did you go home? And I was like, yeah, because you were fucking sleeping like all day.
You were
And
frickin'
it was
sleeping.
like-
I'm pretty sure you said frickin'.
Yeah, my bad. Sorry, frickin'. Sorry. Oh, maybe I should make sure to bleep myself out. But yeah, and he was like, hey, do you want to come back over? Like, you could have just woken me up. And I was like, nah, I'm good, man. We got things to do.
How old are you at the time? I'm imagining you're like 11. You're like, I got a full schedule. I'm sorry, I'm 11 and I have a full schedule.
I've got to file my tax. I got to file my taxes.
File my taxes.
My W-2s. So I'm pretty sure I was like, man, I think 8th grade.
Yeah, that sounds
Maybe?
right.
Still
7th or 8th
still
grade?
young enough to not really have anything to do, probably. But
Yeah. I mean, if you asked, I would have said we're going to get groceries or something. But I mean,
Yeah.
whatever.
sure.
Good times.
What about you guys?
I'll go first since I really don't have a lot, or I guess go second. I had a Nintendo Wii, and Rock Band. Rock Band was a game that came out. I was all about the Guitar Hero, and then Rock Band came out, but it didn't come out for Wii on launch. It came out for PS2 on launch. So I went out and bought a PlayStation 2 exclusively to play Rock Band. And
Mhm.
so that is what my PlayStation 2 was. It was a Rock Band device.
As it should be, as God intended.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Our Lord and Savior died on the cross so you could play Rock
On
Band
PS2.
2 or whatever on PS2. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Dave? Did you have anything?
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
So I didn't have a PS2.
Nice.
I have never owned a PS2 because again, GameCube. I was a Nintendo boy, and we also had an Xbox. So it was not just Nintendo; it was just everything except PlayStation. And so my experience with PS2 back in the day was just like playing over at my friend's house, and we would just play Madden against each other. That's all we did
Yep.
with the PlayStation
Nice.
2.
Yep.
And I hated the controller, so I swore to myself I'd never buy a PlayStation.
Oh my God.
Not how it worked out, but yeah, so really limited. But like when I went to college, it was at the tail end of the PS2. The Xbox 360 had just come out, so my roommate had a PS2 in college, and as like in my memory, if he wasn't playing Final Fantasy 12, I was playing Final Fantasy 10 on his PS2. So that was like the first PS2 game I ever played. And then, like you said, Rock Band and Guitar Hero took the world by storm. And our college dorm just basically became like, okay, which room do you want to play Guitar Hero in today?
Man.
So,
Nice.
Man.
yeah, so those are like the two games I strongly associate with the PS2. Again, before I got into emulating and stuff like that, Final Fantasy 10 and Guitar Hero.
I should have gone to your college. I went like way away from my hometown, and like one of the
Oh,
tips I read
man.
was to like leave your door open, write something on the door. And so my first night I was like, oh, I'll write on my board that I got Guitar Hero and anyone can come play. And no one came in and played. I just played Guitar Hero by
Oh
myself.
man.
Weak. That is a reflection on the other people. That is not a reflection on you.
Absolutely. You are 100%
What-
right.
What school was it, Tommy?
I went to the University of Iowa.
Hey, University of Iowa.
There we go.
Fuck you.
not to turn this into a Big Ten rivalry, but that dorm room at Ohio State was it was Guitar Hero Central.
Nice. That's awesome. I did not go to college.
So you had to pick.
I'm broke as fuck, but yeah, exactly.
You had to pick University of Iowa or Ohio State.
Oh fuck.
We have
Ohio
Guitar
State.
Hero.
Yeah, let's go to Ohio.
Dang it!
I'll finally get that like chili on top of spaghetti thing I've always wanted.
Yes.
We have big ass turkey legs. We got big ass turkey
That's
legs.
right. And Western Ohio has Made Right too, so
They've got that in
also.
Eastern Iowa. There's a small pocket that has Made Rights.
Yeah, I'll fit right in. Oh, dude. Okay. The Final Fantasy X talk unlocked another Matt R memory. Fuck, this is gonna be the Matt R episode. Jesus Christ. Okay, so the gas station in Akron, where he lived at the time. By the way, there's an Akron in Iowa and an Akron in Ohio, which is cool. Fun fact. The gas station in Akron, Iowa, they rented games for a while, and they had Final Fantasy X. So Matt R rented it, and one time he showed me, and he was like, "Hey man, like look, it's Final Fantasy X. Like look, this thing eats chocobos, and you got to push it off a cliff or something." And I was like, "Wow, that's dope!" And then I ended up, I think I sold my GameCube to get a PS2 and Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 and stuff. I regret it now, but I kind of don't. But yeah, thanks, Matt R, for ruining my fucking life.
That's just what it was like back then. You sold games to buy games because GameStop was a necessary service.
That's true. I mean, they had cool snacks back in the day, though.
Yeah, we don't have any cool snacks anymore.
Nope. Thanks, GameStop, for sponsoring. Or no.
Just another thing about just a sign of the times was for at least the PlayStation 2 and I think the Wii. Well, it might have been for everything, but for Rock Band, if you didn't have an internet connection and you couldn't download songs, they released like a set of 20 in track packs in physical stores, so you could go to stores and buy your downloadable songs. And that's what I did.
The first Guitar Hero I played was 2 on the PS2. And we didn't have a guitar, so we just played with the controller. Did you guys ever play Guitar Hero with the controller?
I tried once and hated it.
Tried it just to see. And then vice versa also, trying to play other games with the guitar.
Yes, that's fun.
Not the Donkey Kongo bongos?
No, that's too advanced. I don't have enough rhythm for that.
Oh man, I used to be so fucking good with the controller in Guitar Hero 2, dude. Oh, man. I used to be a wizard.
So which guitar do you prefer? Guitar Hero guitar or Rock Band guitar?
Oh, Guitar Hero, hands down.
Yes.
I don't remember the Rock Band guitar, so let's go Guitar Hero.
The Rock Band guitar had big old rectangle buttons instead of simple circles.
And it had like the Guitar Hero guitar just had like regular like buttons like a kid's toy, and the Guitar Hero or the Rock Band guitar had like frets and shit. Yeah. And so it was a little bit more uncomfortable to play.
And it wasn't the strum bar was real flippy.
It was squishy.
And the Guitar Hero opener was like a fucking kid's toy. Yeah, it was just like a triangle piece of plastic that you could just hammer away.
It was way easier to play and to actually, do the complex parts.
I remember the guitar being like way more forgiving in Guitar Hero than Rock Band. So I was like, whenever I played Rock Band, I didn't like playing it because I was used to how it worked in Guitar Hero. So I wanted to play the drums or sing mostly.
Yeah. Oh man, I was an only child. And I lived in a small town Iowa, so I didn't really have friends to play Rock Band with very often. So I just
I made
my mom sing in Rock Band because she couldn't play any instruments, so she just sang while I played guitar and drums. So
hell yeah!
Imagine this mid-40s tiny little Iowa woman singing Coheed and Cambria.
Oh man,
that's what happened.
That sounds awesome.
I mean, that's just Coheed and Cambria.
Did you tell her to hit the falsetto?
Oh, she did that on her own. She was a soprano.
Oh hell yeah!
And after she was like, "This song's weird." Should we do 3 favorite games as best we can?
Yes, let's go.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, you go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So We actually just did this on my other podcast, which is called a Top 3 podcast, or we do top 3 lists.
Nice.
We just did top 3 PS2 games. So can I remember what I said on my own podcast not 2 weeks ago? Um, Final Fantasy X, absolutely. Guitar Hero 2, and fuck, I don't remember the third one. Kingsfield 4. Let's just say that.
Holy
Nice.
shit! Okay.
I didn't even know the Kingsfields went that high.
Yeah, it's the last one.
Here we go.
That game rules.
It's Aaron time, baby. Final Fantasy X, Rogue Galaxy, and oh fuck, I just had it.
You guys.
Oh man.
It's 3 games.
Oh, we'll say shit. We'll say Urban Reign.
Excellent. I'm gonna have to go with
Tekken 4. Sorry, go ahead.
It's too late. I'm gonna have to go with Rock Band, Rock Band Track Pack 1, and we'll go with Rock Band AC/DC Live.
Nice.
Awesome.
Rock Band Track Pack 2 got a real snub. I'm surprised.
I didn't have that one. I only got the first one.
Oh, okay.
What about Rock Band or Guitar Hero Encore from the 80s or whatever, or like Guitar Hero Rocks the 80s, or like
Guitar Hero was on my Wii. Rock Band was on PS2.
Oh, damn it. They had Flock of Seagulls on that. That's pretty cool.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Speaking of Flock of Seagulls, PS3.
Yes, the Flock of Seagulls of video games.
There we go. I did not have a PS3, so this is all you guys.
Ooh.
I did not have a PS3, so this is all you, Tommy.
Oh, it's the Tommy show.
Real quick, I did borrow a PS3 so I could play The Last of Us. I switched, I traded my friend my Xbox 360 so he could play an Xbox game, and I could play The Last of Us. And I really hated The Last of Us when I first played it. I like it now, but back when I first played it in 2014 or something, I was not a fan. That is the extent of my PS3 experience.
Tell me why.
I didn't like the gameplay. I thought it was too hard, and this was before I ascended to a higher plane of existence where I play games on easy mode if I think they're too hard.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I always used to play games only on easy because I was like, I want to experience the story. I don't want to die over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So I, similar to that guy on Discord, Judge Bread, I sold my Nintendo Wii and all my games to buy a PS3. Mainly because when I was first going to college, you get your roommate and he texted me. He's like, "You play video games?" I was like, "Yeah, I play video games." And he was like, "Awesome."
You say it like Napoleon Dynamite. Yeah, I play video games.
That's how people talked in college. And he was like, "Oh, cool. Do you have an Xbox or a PlayStation?" That was the only 2 options, and I was like, "I have a Nintendo Wii." He was like, "Oh," and then the peer pressure got to me over the months, and I was like, "I got to be an adult now. It's time to grow up." So
can't be playing Xenoblade Chronicles like some kind of kid.
Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy, more like Super Baby Galaxy.
Nice one.
Thanks. So I sold my Wii and got a PlayStation, and I played the heck out of it. That was my console throughout all of college, so I played all my games there. NCAA football, MLB The Show. Oh, my favorite game of all time, Red Dead Redemption. Oh, what a fun time. Do you guys? Sorry, go on.
I was gonna say I played all of those games except for MLB The Show on Xbox 360 because that's what I had.
Yeah.
But a big fan. I mean, I think we talked about it in the Discord about how fucking awesome those NCAA football games were.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I do not think the new ones are going to be able to live up to my memories, but I'm willing to give it a shot.
Who's making it? Is EA making it?
It's EA. Yep.
Well, Madden's fucking awful now, so there's
I know exactly.
The NCAA game's gonna be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't worry, guys. I'm still breathing. I'm still here.
Oh, I wasn't worried.
Okay.
The adults were talking about college football.
Yes, I had Call of Duty Black Ops as well, and Call of Duty Black Ops 2. I actually had the Call of Duty World at War on the Wii, but okay. This is totally jumping out, but now that I've got you guys here and held against your will, people who are like they can't make Call of Duty on Switch. They had a Call of Duty on the Wii. It's gonna be ugly as heck, but it's technically possible.
They can
Yeah,
do it. They put games that like shouldn't run well on Switch all the
like
time. They
Doom.
just have to
Yes.
make like a bunch of effort to do it.
Yeah.
Like they can. What they're gonna do is make those bullshit cloud versions, probably.
Yeah, that shit's
Yeah.
stupid.
Yeah. Totally. Do you guys remember how wild everything was? Like they just tried a bunch of things with the PlayStation 3. It had the Move controller
The
and the
3D.
PlayStation Eye. It played 3D video games.
Oh, wait. I have one PS3 thing to contribute.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. I'm a
Hmm.
big boy now.
Yes.
So one of my old roommates had a PlayStation 3 and they had like a 3D TV and they played a lot of games in
Ooh.
3D. And I remember seeing online one time that they brought Final Fantasy like 7, 8, and 9 to the PSN classics or whatever the hell they were called. I
Mhm.
was like, "Hey man, if I buy a PlayStation gift card, can I buy Final Fantasy 9 on your PlayStation, please, mister?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, you can do it anytime you want." So I did. Then I played Final Fantasy 9 for like maybe 5 hours on his PlayStation, and then I moved out.
Nice. That's how you do it.
Yep, yep.
Um, I experienced a 3D PlayStation game once. It was at a GameStop, and they had MLB The Show. And would you believe me if I said the only thing that was in 3D was like the UI? The pitches didn't
Oh,
come to you in 3D. Everything else was flat, but the UI was popping out of the screen.
oh
Oh, that
man,
sounds disappointing.
It was. It really was. I
that
was a sad boy in that GameStop.
I remember I remember this like demo of Motor Storm at a Best Buy one time, and they
Oh
were
my
utilizing
gosh.
the 3D thing for split screen play. So like one screen was the actual screen, and the other screen was like the 3D screen, and that like blew my tiny fucking baby mind. Even though I wasn't a baby, I was in my teens or whatever the fuck, but that was still pretty cool.
MotorStorm. That was the game that I used when I worked at Walmart in high school to get a girl to stop talking to me because I didn't like her. She
Oh
would like
man,
she would
yes.
like wait for me after my shift was over and I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to be playing MotorStorm for the next hour or two." I would literally just keep playing until she left.
That's genius.
I know. Have you guys ever actually held a PlayStation Move controller?
Nope.
I think so. I think I have one downstairs.
Ooh, they're weird. They are super weird. They like
They feel
do
really
not
cheap.
they don't follow the ergonomics or like design style of the other PlayStation stuff, which really bothers me.
Yeah,
The face buttons are so small.
and like when you hold like a Wiimote or like a Joy-Con, they feel pretty hefty.
Yeah,
But like the PlayStation Move thing just kind of feels like something you might pick up at the Dollar General or something.
yeah. And again, to go back to MLB The Show, you could do the home run derby with the Move controller, but it required the camera to see the glowy ball. But when you hold it like a bat, your head is blocking the ball, so it can't actually see your motions very well.
Hmm,
Stupid.
that is stupid. Stupid squared.
Yeah, stupid. I guess just another random memory is like PlayStation 3, you could hook up like 12 controllers to it. So there was exactly one time where I had 8 or 9 people and we all played FIFA at the same time, and it was a total disaster.
That sounds wild.
Yeah, we were all on the same team because we were like, we can be a team. We've got teamwork, and did not work.
Oh man. All right. I for the top 3, can I do like games that were on 360 and PS3? Does
Oh
that
yeah,
count?
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, okay, I'm going Eternal Sonata, Sonic and All Stars Racing, Transformed, and Borderlands 2.
Heck yeah. What about you, Dave?
um, I'm the only game that I'm gonna say that I actually played on a real PS3 is The Last of Us. So that's in my
Number
top
one.
three. I mean, it's not there by default. I think it's really good.
Okay.
So The Last of Us, Demon's Souls,
Ooh,
which I have played the PS3 version now. It's really good. And what else? What else is on the PS3? I gotta go look at. Oh, we'll just say Uncharted 2 for
Oh,
for
Ooh, that's Aaron's
exclusives.
favorite game. I'm surprised he didn't say it.
Yes.
I'm gonna go with Red Dead Redemption. I'm also gonna say The Last of Us, and I'll say Uncharted 2 as well.
What? Not a
Oh,
single
also,
MLB game?
Man, I played. That's probably my most played game on PlayStation, but like, I don't know. I gotta go for the story experiences.
Okay. Okay.
yeah, those sports games, like the yearly sports games, back when I played them, it was just like a continuous experience, and
hmm
a lot of times,
That's
like,
true.
I can't really say like, oh, I liked NCAA 11 more than I liked NCAA 10. Like, that's not how those games work. So
Yeah, yeah, and especially with MLB The Show, it's about like your seventh year playing the game, and you finally reach like Pete Rose's hit record and breaking it, and you're like,
yeah.
yes, my hours of work finally came through.
They count in the real world once you break records. Um,
Exactly.
also, of course, I got to shout out Shadow of the Colossus, which I
Oh,
didn't play on PS2. I have played the PS3 version, but I actually beat the game twice playing the PS4 version. But like, I feel like some people are going to be listening to this podcast, like, no one's going to mention Shadow of the Colossus, and like, I'm here. I love that game. I just didn't
yeah,
play it on these.
I
You know
played
what?
it too. I must have played it on PS3.
Let's also shout out like the PS2 era God of War, like before the reboot, because those were still good.
Yeah, those were
Good
fun,
call. Good call.
especially
Yeah.
God of War 2.
Yes.
That like blew my mind.
Those
All
were
right.
adventures.
All right, now we're doing do a
Ad
Malcolm in
break.
the Middle whoosh. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. Whoosh to the ad break.
Wish the ad break. We'll be right back.
Superpod Saga is brought to you today by our superstar patrons, a novel console, Jared, Jameson, and Adam. You're all as attractive and awesome as you are generous and gracious. Your support means the world to Tommy and I, and of course you're all number one. And we'll continue to pray to your names every single morning, noon, and night. Thank you all. We love you. It's really important to stay hydrated. They say to drink 8 to 10 cups of water per day to stay properly hydrated, but sometimes that can be difficult to do and completely inconvenient, and most of us don't feel like carrying a gallon of water with us at all times. That's where Liquid IV comes in. Liquid IV is the category-winning hydration brand fueling your well-being, and their hydration multiplier is the one product you're missing in your daily routine. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and 2 times faster hydration than water alone. Use it first thing in the morning, before a workout, when you feel run down, after a long night out, or on long flights. Man, in Iowa, the summers can be brutal. 90 degrees and tons of humidity, that just saps the energy and water right out of your system within just a few minutes. Luckily, Liquid IV hydrates 2 times faster than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. It's very important to replace those electrolytes, you know? And I just love how quick and easy it is to use Liquid IV. You just get one packet and a bottle of water, and you just pour that packet into the bottle of water, shake the heck out of it, and bam, you are good to go. Since using Liquid IV, I've felt way more alert, active, and just plain better versus drinking water alone. My favorite flavors to go to are the Yuzu Pineapple Energy Multiplier and the Tropical Punch Hydration Multiplier. I can't get enough of those ones. And what makes them even better is, like I mentioned earlier, they're packed with 5 essential vitamins like B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C. And again, 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. And they're non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy, which is just great. So you can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code SUPERPODSAGA at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code SUPERPODSAGA, SUPERPODSAGA at liquidiv.com. You have a great one, superstars. Hey, superstars. Are you a coffee addict looking for your next big caffeine fix? Or are you just tired of all the normal boring coffee options out there now? Well, you need to check out Bones Coffee. Bones Coffee has lots of different varieties of coffee flavors. They've got things like red velvet, cookies and cream, s'mores. They've got one that's called Jamaican Me Crazy that's really good. It's like caramel vanilla rum kind of thing. But They also have just your usual, salted caramel and French vanilla and all that stuff. They even have decaf and what's called high voltage, which is just extra strength. And they've also got espresso. They've got all sorts of cool stuff. Plus, if you use coupon code SuperPodSaga at checkout, you'll get 20% off of your order. And again, that's SuperPodSaga at checkout to get 20% off. You can also follow the link in our episode description. And yeah, why not? Use that one-time coupon code. Like I said, 20% off. It's great. Head over to bonescoffee.com. Get yourself some coffee, some cool gear like mugs or French press kits, stuff like that. Check it out. Okay, bye. I don't have.
Hey,
okay.
Hey, Aaron.
Yes.
Have you ever tripped and fallen?
All the time.
All the time? Give me an example.
Just before we started recording.
What happened?
I tripped and fell.
Oh my gosh. Do you know what could have helped you?
Rubber?
Body airbags.
Oh.
Ooh.
You just strap them to your body so that when you trip and fall, they go poof, and it stops you from hitting the concrete.
Wouldn't the force of it shooting out propel me backward and throw me against the wall?
Yes, and that's why you put them on your back as well.
So it becomes this like Looney Tunes thing where you just constantly like fall on your front, then it busts you up in the air and you fall on your back, and it's like a trampoline basically, but it's out of control.
Yes, but it'll stop you from falling and hitting your face and everyone laughing at you.
I think
you'll be bouncing from your front to your back and like wildly flailing in the air, and everyone won't laugh at you. They'll be like, "Wow, that guy's really smart to have those body airbags."
Yeah.
Like, somebody please throw something sharp on the ground. Please, a thumbtack, anything.
They'll throw it, and the knife will have a knife airbag on it as well, so it just hits. It goes.
yeah. They're tear proof. They're puncture proof. They're everything proof.
Man. Football is never going to be the same again after they start implementing the body airbags.
Oh my god, yeah.
You can take real advantage of that just by like letting your homie just punch you in the gut and then just whoosh, you fly through the field goal posts like go.
This has potential to be an Olympic sport, I think.
Shove a bunch of dudes with the airbags in a room and then just like you try to kick anybody and then use pinball around the room at supersonic speed.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can get yours for the low price of $3,000.
Is there any kind of discount if I buy like financing or buy in bulk?
Yes, you can get two for the low price of $6,000.
Those are available at patreon.com/superpodsaga.
Exactly. We only have a $300 and $6,000 tier.
Exactly.
Holy shit! Thanks. Personal
body airbags. We're back.
Oh, I'm so thirsty.
I'm ready. The people have been waiting for the Malcolm in the Middle whoosh.
Whoosh. Was that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, PS4. I've played very, very, very little of this. So I think it's probably just the Dave show, honestly.
Yeah, I think it is. Dave, guess what game I've played on PlayStation 4?
Is it a Sonic the Hedgehog racing game by any chance?
No, it was MLB The Show.
Oh, okay.
Close.
Pretty close.
Yeah. I had a friend with a PlayStation 4, and the only game he had was MLB The Show.
Nice.
I played Mortal Kombat 11 and Friday the 13th, and that's the scope of my PS4 experience.
Nice. So this is where I get back into it. So
he's back, baby.
Yeah, in 2015, I moved to Korea and I stopped playing video games for a while, like several years. And then in 2019, I bought a PS4. And then I just like got real back into gaming. So very similar to what the esteemed write-in person, Real Dave Jackson, said earlier. The first game I played was The Order 1886 because it looked super cool on the store and it was like $4 or something. Little did I know that people fucking hated that game, but I thought it was great. And that game looks incredible. And that was like after years of not playing video games, really. I
Mm.
played Xenoblade Chronicles, and it took me like a year to play through that because I just didn't play that much. And I played Breath of the Wild because I had a Wii U. I took my Wii U to
Oh,
Korea with
Wild.
me. So um,
you were the one
going,
guy.
there's dozens of us that had Wii U's. There's dozens of us that played Breath of the Wild on a
Yeah.
Wii U. um,
You got to see the map on the tablet.
yeah, and I got to literally dust off the tablet to do those stupid gyro puzzles in that game. But after that, going to PS4 and seeing the Order 1886 was a beautiful looking game that like blew my
Mhm.
mind. So then I just played so many video games, just catching up on all the stuff I'd missed. Because this was 2019, so it's like years into the
Yeah.
PS4 life cycle by then. So I played all the Uncharted games like in a row, basically. I played Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3, and then I played Dark Souls 2, and then I replayed Dark Souls 1, and like just so many other. I played the Yakuza games, just
Ooh.
got into so many things. So, like, I've played way more PS4 games than any other PlayStation generation combined.
Nice. So
Nice.
that was your my PlayStation 3.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
I think I know the answer to this, but I'm assuming that the reason PS4 brought you back into video games was because of the touchpad.
Yeah, it was
Stop, Tommy.
I had heard that there was this magical thing that they could do where you could swipe on the controller, and also sometimes the shittiest speaker in the world would make sounds.
You're telling me you didn't use it for the pause screen or whatever in Until Dawn to flip pages in the book? How dare you?
I mean, like, if that's what the game makes me do, then yeah, I'll do it. I do like having a giant ass pause button, though. It's basically like press anywhere on the controller, you're probably pressing the touchpad.
Just
and you can
fucking
pause the game.
Just throw it at the fucking wall to pause the game.
Yeah.
Start and select button? No. We got 3 lines and 2 squares.
Yep.
Yeah. That all the the Xbox has the same thing. Yeah, we call it the 3 lines of the hamburger button, and then the 2 squares are just 2 squares.
Yeah.
I still call them start and back.
Yep, same. I don't even call it back. That's insane. It's start and select to me.
But the Xbox, it was the back button.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, the PS4 was great, and it got me back into video games in like a giant way. Also, the Switch at that time, but like we're here talking about PlayStation, so I like played The Witcher 3 for like 150 hours, and
Nice.
after all those games, it was like just fully back into gaming as like my main hobby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. I love that.
There were times like I remember like since the 360, I've been like the biggest I'm not now, but when I had the 360, I was like the biggest Xbox fanboy in the world.
Yeah,
I was one
yeah,
of
you
those douchebags you saw online, like chatting people up, be like, "Hey, you don't have Gears or Left 4 Dead, bitch." And then
Hey,
but like
he was such a d-bag about it that like we hadn't talked for years after high school, but we were still friends on Facebook, and he posted something about how he was super excited for the Xbox One. I had to message him on Facebook and be like, "Hey, are you okay, man?"
man, and then there was like, I guess where I'm going with this is that I've kind of always wished I did get I mean, I could still get a PS4 or even a PS5 for that matter, but they do have sick games. I will not deny that. Like their exclusives they're pretty baller.
Yeah, I agree. This was the PS4 Xbox One era, right? But that was that was my PC era. That's where I got my first PC. So I was an elite PC gamer.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Top 3?
Top 3.
Oh man, this is tough. So I'm just gonna go with exclusives for PlayStation for PS4. Bloodborne is number 1 by a mile. That's like my favorite game ever. Shadow of the Colossus, because that's the version I played, the Blue Point remake, and let's see, PS4 exclusives. Probably the first God of War 2018. That'd probably be in the
Nice.
top 3.
There
Oh
you
shit,
go.
Persona 5. No, fuck God of War. Persona 5.
That's what everybody's saying.
Yeah, that's the choice they have to make. I'll go. I'll go.
Okay.
MLB The Show, whatever year it was that my friend had. I'll say Red Dead Redemption 2, even though I played it on the heck did I play that on? Oh, on my Series
Xbox?
X. Yeah, Xbox. And then I'll say PT because that's the game that I probably watched people play the most on YouTube.
Oh my
Ooh,
god.
man. I watched 2 seconds of a PT stream and I got very scared and turned it off.
Aaron's time. I watched Funhouse play Until Dawn, so I'm gonna say that.
Mm.
It's a good game to watch too.
Yeah, and then trying to think of a game that was on both Xbox One and PS4.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yes. What's another one, Tommy?
That's the only one that was at the front of my brain, and I don't know why.
Skyrim.
There we go. Perfect. That's it. That's my top 3.
Perfect. There's no better list.
Oh, man.
Okay.
We made it. We made it. We made it to the top of the mountain.
PlayStation 5, everybody. I've touched a controller and goofed around on like the start menu for one at my brother-in-law's house, and that's about it for me.
That's more than I've done. I had a coworker who bought a PS5 controller to play on PC, and he brought it to work, and so I held it in my hand, and I was like, "Yeah, this is a PS5 controller."
Dave,
thank goodness we have Dave here.
Yeah.
please
Could you
give us a
imagine if he
taste.
didn't?
You're like, well, good times. See ya. Yeah, I have a PS5. I think it's amazing. I think the PS5 controller is the best video game controller I've ever used. It's
Nice.
fantastic. It's a shame that not many games, especially like maybe they're not PS5 exclusive, but they're like they don't have PS4 versions, you know, they might be on Series X and PC and stuff. I don't think enough games use the controller to the point that they should or could. But when it's used correctly, it's like seeing a 4D movie except good.
Yeah, I still want to experience that. That's one of the hardest parts about not having a PS5 is like with other games and experiences, you can read about it or watch a video about it and get it, but like with the controller, you can't just read and understand. That's something you have to actually feel.
Yeah, and when it's done correctly, it adds so much to the experience. And it's like if I describe it as Rumble but good, it doesn't explain it well enough.
Which games do it good?
Returnal does it the best that I've played. Returnal puts like key because have you seen gameplay of Returnal?
Yes.
It's for those who haven't, it's a 3D bullet hell. It's extremely visually busy. So like your eyes are so busy keeping track of everything that's going on the screen. And the game gives you information via the controller vibrations. So that's like cool. When you're out of ammo, you'll get a little click in the controller. It has an active reload system like Gears of War. And when you hit that, you'll get a little burst in the controller to let you know. Other stuff like the other information is given through the vibrations, and it's really good on top of like little pitter patter of like rain and shit like that through, you know, the controller sense thing. So yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. When I got my Switch and I played Golf Story, and you made the putt when the ball went in the hole, it went clunk.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa.
It's exactly like that.
Damn. For my top 3, I want to go top 3 games that I would buy if I got a PS5 because I do really want to get one. And top of that list, baby, it's Final Fantasy 16 because it looks good, it sounds good, looks good, must be good. Demon Souls, because that looks cool. Oh man, come on, Aaron.
You always do this.
Oh, duh, Returnal, because I love bullet hell shmups. So I feel like I'd have some all right chops at Returnal. Hell yeah.
Yeah, Returnal rules. Tommy, do you have a top 3?
I don't know, because I can't even jokingly say MLB The Show, because that's on Xbox now.
What
Uh,
what games would you like to own on it, or like?
I would probably get Ragnarok.
Okay.
Ragnarok. I give Horizon a chance. I'm
Oh
curious about
yeah.
what those are like. And the Spider-Man. Yeah. Man, no, Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah,
Put
Oh,
that
Ghost
in
of
over.
Tsushima. Fuck.
Put
all
that
those
one.
games rule. I
Yeah,
just played
yeah.
them all on PS4. So, top 3 for me for PS5, Demon Souls again. That's 2 Demon Souls in my top 3 list today. Returnal's my favorite PS5 game, and shit, probably Ragnarok. Let me look at my shelf. The only PS5 game I have on my shelf is Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. So that's going in my top
It's gotta
3.
be
It's
on
a
the
better
list.
game than Ragnarok.
Ooh,
Nice. I love it.
I'm sweating from the heat from that hot take.
Yep, now I gotta take off my pants.
He does this every episode, Dave. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh man. Just for the fun of it, like, what are your favorite? Cause we're talking about 3D and like 4D and shit. What's your favorite 3D movie?
The very first 3D movie I saw was Jackass 3D.
Oh man,
Nice, dude.
that's way better than me.
And then I saw a Saw movie in 3D.
Oh,
I don't remember which one it was, but that was gross.
I'm going with 2. I'm breaking the mold, even though I picked this fucking stupid category. I'm breaking the mold already. Freddy versus Jason, and one of the Final Destinations I saw in 3D, and it was
Man.
cool because like the barbed wire came right at you, and I was like, whoa, easy fella. Like,
I don't want to get my face cut up here.
I didn't pay $10 plus $5 for Mike and Ike's just to get my fucking head cut off there, chief.
That's what'll happen if you do the 4D Final Destination.
Yeah.
that last dimension is
It's
real.
barbed wire.
It's the killer dimension. Yeah.
It's barbed wire.
I saw The Martian in 4D, and they just had little, like, when the spaceship takes off
my
and shit,
God.
they shoot little jets of air into like the side of your head. But the Final
yeah.
Destination one, yeah, your chair turns to barbed wire.
Were you talking about the one like Martian where like they had like gumballs
Matt Damon?
for something, or
The one with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
I swear to God, they had like gumballs for something, and they looked really cool. And as a kid, I was like, "Fuck, I wish I had that."
No, you're definitely.
No,
This
The
was-
Martian
this
with
was
Matt
Matt Damon
Damon
when we
came
were
out in
adults.
like 2016 or something.
Whatever.
Um,
Matt
know.
Damon.
You guys, I'm not even gonna make you guess what the only 3D movie I ever saw was, because it's
Was
you'll
it
be
not The
surprised that
Martian?
it was
Is it
even
Avatar?
in 3D. No, it was not. It was Beowulf.
Oh,
Whoa.
that's cool. I mean, the
Forgot
movie
about Beowulf.
wasn't that good, but like,
No,
That's
the movie
CGI.
sucked ass, and the 3D also sucked ass. It was not a good experience. Although there was a famous actress who was naked in the movie, and that
Angelina
was in
Jolie.
3D. Yeah, and that was in 3D.
nice.
So there we go.
Sweet,
Never mind.
dude.
You know what? Beowulf was all right.
It was all
there was one movie that we saw a while back where it was 3D, but they also had the thing where like if there were splashes or some shit in the movie, they would like kind of spray like a mist at everybody, and that was annoying. I forget what the fuck movie it was, but don't do that. Movie places, don't do that. That's it.
That's it. That's all the PlayStation stuff. We talked about it all.
Yes, even
We didn't-
Final Destination.
Yeah, we didn't miss anything. I don't think that's the whole. That's it.
No, we talked about all the games.
Yeah. If you can think of any that we missed, though, you should join the Discord and yell at us about your favorite PlayStation stuff.
Tommy, I need you to do your best Porky Pig impersonation doing the "That's all, folks" thing.
No, that's all, folks.
Oh
my gosh, you're
that's
way
all,
better.
folks.
You're way better.
I barely
Dave-
even did
Dave?
it. Dave, please.
Wait. You want me to do it too?
Yes.
That's all, folks.
Awesome.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, thank you
And-
guys for inviting me on.
And where can people find your podcast and you on social media and stuff again?
Yeah, so again, Tales from the Backlog is the podcast. There are lots of PlayStation games, including ones that I didn't talk about, like The Last of Us Part 2, and lots of others. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, the game that I said is better than God of War Ragnarok, another game that was on my podcast. Tales from the Backlog, that's the podcast. You can find it wherever you're listening to this, unless you're listening on the Super Pod Saga dark web or Patreon or something. On Twitter, it's at TFTBLpod. That's where I'm most active, but I'm also on Instagram, and the page also has a Facebook, Tales from the Backlog, because I am a slave to social media outreach. So yeah, that's my show. I hope you check it out. Once again, Aaron was on an episode talking about long games and burnout, and surely you'll hear the Super Pod Saga guys on there some other time in the future too. So yeah, thanks guys.
You
Yeah,
bet,
thank you
man.
for being here. We really appreciate your knowledge.
For the second time, actually.
Yeah.
Where can the people find us, Aaron?
You can go to superpodsaga.com, and in fact, if you want to listen to more of Dave, you can find his episode of me and him talking about roguelikes on there.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, yes, superpodsaga.com, all of our other episodes, our blogs, we type stuff, our Patreon, if you like the show, support us on Patreon, leave us a review, whatever, superpodsaga.com.
Excellent. And speaking of other episodes, I get to pick the topic for the next one?
Yeah, fuck, Silas still has my phone. I have all this written down.
I'm pretty sure I remember what I picked.
So, yeah, we're doing the achievements and like
Yes.
trophies or whatever one on Sunday. So, yeah, pick
So
another one.
But wouldn't that be what I pick now?
Yeah, yes. Yeah,
So
you're right.
Everyone, look forward. We're going to talk about our favorite achievements, whether that be like actual Xbox achievements or PlayStation trophies or like just things that you did that felt were super special. We're going to talk about those next week.
Yeah,
Sound good?
that's such a
Sound
good
good?
one.
Hell
Perfect.
yeah.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes,
check
chef.
out check out Dave and his podcast, Tales from the Backlog. Check out more Super Pod Saga. Go say hi to your friends. Thank you for listening, though. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.